Are you ready for yet another junk computer video? This thing is basically a giant, heavy, worthless chunk of plastic and steel and phenolic shards. But it's here nonetheless. It is an IBM eServer xSeries 206M. I have no idea what any of that actually means. Suffice it to say, this is a massive server based on a Pentium 4 with hyperthreading. It was probably worth quite a bit at one point in time, but now Pentium 4 is so hopelessly outmoded that it might just as well. It's probably actually not even worth the gas that I expended to drive it home. In fact, it might not even be worth the calories that I expended to hawk it onto a cart. Kind of a waste of time, honestly, but, you know, it looks decent. Still have the keys. That's pretty neat. Haven't managed to break those yet like I did with the IntelliStation. Standard ports. No expansion cards. Giant fan, I think that's 140 millimeters. At the back there. Standard power supply, but it uses the typical IBM screws, which are kind of weird, but They tell you not to lift it on your own. 40 pounds. Oops. It's not that heavy, at least if you want my honest opinion. There is a way, I forget the way to actually do it on this. Oh. It's right there, to actually take this front off. There's a little IBM blue button right there. To reveal the disk trays. I only have one. I think there are, what, 3 or 4? Looks like there's 4. So this could accommodate up to 4. They are serial ATA, which is pretty nice. It's labeled as eServer. I assume there's, yeah, they are serial ATA. They're not fancy like SAS or anything like that. I'm actually old enough that they've got the old Molex on them. I probably have, if I look around, I might actually have some more of those caddies. But I don't know. I don't know if I really care enough, to be honest with you. 2 optical drives. One of them is burner. Actually, it's a DVD-ROM, CD or W. The top one's just a CD-ROM. Typical floppy drive. 2 USB ports. Let's see if we can put this back on. Oh. Too much undue stress and strain, and apparently that's not possible. There we go. Now it's in place. Pull the side off here to reveal the magic within. Let's take a look here. Front panel, LEDs, and connectors. Seems pretty standard. Adapter. Installation. I'll go down there. I guess you could actually expand this. I don't know with what. Media bays. Those are the 5 1/4 and the floppy drive bay. Of course, the hard drive bays. Here's a look at the main board layout. Fan sink. I don't think I've ever heard it called that before. USB tape. Remote supervisor adapter. Probably something similar to integrated lights out management on an HP server. Or Dell's iDRAC. I forget what the acronym stands for. PCI X connector for SAS paddleboard. So this could actually have serial attached SCSI if you wanted it to, but this one doesn't have that because this probably was just a bare bones system when it was ordered cheaply. 3 DIMMs not supported. Diagnostic LEDs. Are those on the main board or is that on the front? BMC disable. BMC JTAG. IBM IntelliStation. This probably is basically nothing more than an IntelliStation in fancy beefed up server appearance. There you can see the drive cage there. You look inside of the beast at the 2 PCI-X slots on the bottom there. That mini PCI will be for SAS. There's 2 PCI there. A PCI Express X1 and what looks like an X8. Interestingly, this does not actually have a graphics slot, so you couldn't even add one if you wanted to. I mean, a server, you probably wouldn't want to. Looks like all the caps are good. Uses a lot of solid state capacitors. That's kind of ahead of its time, really. Because this would probably be... Well, it might be new enough to be socket 775, but... Actually, it is 775, just based on that sticker. But yeah, even a lot of those were still all electrolytics. So, I don't think I've ever actually powered this on. So I have no idea if it actually works. Nor do I know what the ratings on that power supply are. So, I'll put the cover on, clean up this nonsense, and then we'll go ahead and we'll try and fire it up and see if it does anything. Okay, this thing is frickin' massive. Now, I'm sure it's going to turn on the instant I plug it in. So if it blows up, I want to do it on video. No, didn't turn on the instant I plugged it in. In theory. Does it actually work? Let's find out. Yeah. Turns on. Makes a lot less noise than I anticipated. Here it comes. Maybe. Here we go. Press F1 for configuration. One processor, Pentium 4 3.2. That's not bad. F1 has been pressed. Booting to setup. AC power has been restored. Yes, that's probably an indication that the battery's dead. Okay, continue. Oh, this is that old school IBM setup. System summary. 2 gigs of RAM. That's not terrible. 80 gigabyte. 2 CD-ROMs. Installed mouse. DDR2 system memory. Oops, I wanted to see the processor summary. CPU IDs. I don't think... Yeah, this is not a multi-processor system. Platform ID. Microcode revision. 3.2 gigahertz with 800 megahertz for inside bus. That's a Prescott. As it probably should be, it's hyper-threaded. But I think the Northwood was hyper-threaded as well. Nothing else really interesting there. System information. There's the BIOS revision, machine type, model number. If you want to go look that up, 8485 PDG. Go right ahead. Devices and I/O ports. There's probably the usual stuff. Nothing too interesting. There's really nothing that interesting in these. Baseboard management controller. Yes, that's probably the out-of-band management. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's the, basically system log. mini BMC MAC address. Yeah, that'd be an out-of-band management. Configuration, device error logs, post error logs. That's the only entry it's got. System error log. Press up arrow to see later entries. So here's another one. The date and time's actually correct. So, I don't know. A couple of AC power has been restored. Entries. No, that can't be correct. This is the first. This is the last entry. I'm sorry. So that was the first entry that it recorded, and this is the latest. So nothing interesting in the event log. See if it boots into anything. I don't think there's anything in either of the optical drives. Where's the button? Nope. Reminds me a lot of the PS2, IBM PS2 Fast Path BIOS. Which is probably basically what it is. No, this is Windows 2000. Maybe. Yep, here it comes. Windows 2000 server. Not convinced I know the password on this. We'll see what it boots into when it starts. Well, it's got a video driver. It's 9:30. I can't believe it's already 9:30. Been messing around with junk computers for entirely way too long tonight. Press Control-Alt-Delete to begin. I don't really care about that. Administrator. Yep, I don't know what the password is. And being as though I do have something of an idea as to what this actually would have been used for, this was in a server rack with a bunch of Mitel VoIP gear. It was probably used for something similar, some kind of VoIP server, some kind of ancillary server for the VoIP system. I don't really care about any of that. I don't care what's on this, and I don't think anybody else is going to care because that VoIP equipment is from 2001, so it's basically completely worthless now. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn the server off, and we'll turn the video off. So thanks for watching this IBM eServer video. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them below.